Good morning, and many thanks to our panelists for all of your work, for the time that you've taken to assess how to best meet the challenge that we face today, and for articulating just how complex and multifaceted this issue really is. I want to associate myself with the comments that my colleague, Ms. Houlihan, made. This is my third term in Congress, and I have been privileged to serve on the House Armed Services Committee for each one of those terms, and I've served on this subcommittee from the beginning of my tenure in Congress. I long for the days that we really collaborated and worked together on addressing the real issues that are facing the United States military and our active duty service members. But as Ms. Houlihan stated, instead, this seems to have become a vehicle for promoting Breitbart news and agendas around politics. It really is no wonder that so many people think that Congress can't get anything done. For the last year, we've not been addressing real issues. In fact, that may be why the chairman had to create a separate quality of life panel so that we could try to get our work done through that vehicle. I will say, Ms. Schaefer, thank you for the time that you've spent talking to me. I am so privileged to represent Fort Bliss and am in frequent communication with our Army leadership and with active duty service members, and we've had great conversations around how to address this challenge that we face. It is no doubt a real challenge. But I think a couple things that I want to remind us of. Number one, as a member of the Armed Services Committee, I've had an opportunity to travel abroad. And as I've talked to our friends and allies around the world, they too are facing recruitment challenges. This is not an America-only issue. And frankly, the more time we waste on the bizarre focus that we've seen this Congress, the less time we have to truly think through real answers. Ms. Schaefer, you and I, just so that I can articulate this publicly, you and I had conversations about how to really connect with younger people. What I hear in my district, especially when it comes time for my conversations with high schools and younger people, they frequently tell me, I wish I had known about the military sooner. And I know there are limitations around recruitment and age, but there are really creative ways that I have seen employed by military leadership in my community, ways to really connect with grade schools, with younger students, so that they get a glimpse of what their future could look like and the options that do exist. Because unless they are familiar, and many of you talked about familiarity as an issue, unless you are familiar, unless you have a relative, unless you have friends, unless you are exposed to the opportunities around military service, frequently it's not a consideration. And I look forward to those continued conversations. I don't have a question. This is the third time we do this so that we can talk about wokeness in the military. We will continue to have our one-on-one conversations and through the quality of life panel so that we truly can be successful in this arena. Thank you all for all of your work and service.